circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over, and the Bulls have won.
These are the moments that define us. Moments that we cherish.
Down the left field line, is it enough? Gone!
And even moments that entertain us. Sports in the United States take on the identity of our greatest export, entertainment. Americans are great storytellers. Our movie stars are world famous, our artists tour the globe, and our sports, well, we love our sports. Why is it that the world loves our entertainment, our stars, and yet rejects our sports? I think it comes down to two words: entertainment and participation. Hey there, thanks for clicking on this video. If this is your first time watching one of my videos on this channel, then I hope by the end of this video that I've earned your subscription or at least a like and comment on this video. Now, a lot of work went into the writing of this script, so I hope you stay to the end and hear the entirety of my argument. Thank you for being here. Now, Americans love entertainment. For many people in our country, watching television is the way to get away from the grind of the American dream. Unfortunately, for most people, the American dream is working, and then working some more. In fact, according to a 2023 report from the International Labor Organization, in the United States, workers clock an average of 1,750 hours per year. That figure has declined over time. In the 50s and 60s, that's when most of our major sports leagues began to be televised, average working hours per year were closer to 2,000 in the United States. Even so, the figure that we see now is still 400 more hours annually, which is the equivalent of 10 more weeks, than employees in Germany. In fact, it is the opinion of most Americans that we are overworked day by day. Many men in the 50s and 60s found a reprieve from the grind in watching sports from a recliner in the living room. Sports, for many Americans, is a way to get away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life, and TV networks capitalized on that.
Next Sunday, Shaq, Penny, and the Magic drive towards the playoffs. Orlando Arena has truly been the Magic Kingdom for the Eastern Conference leaders. They own the best home record in the NBA. Now, the Magic try to put a spell on the Warriors when they take the floor at the O-Arena. Tip-off just after 12 noon Eastern, next Sunday on NBC.
The games began to be shaped in order to give the consumer what they want: high-quality sporting entertainment. Yeah, sporting entertainment. Now, I want to be very careful and interject at this point in the video and say that for many Americans, sports are much more than just entertainment. In fact, for the athletes especially, they train very hard and are very disciplined in their field or in their sport, and their families become active participants in the culture of that sport. Now, for the athletes and the athlete's family, the game is life. The same can also be said for high school and college sports. Communities actually rally around the local team. People support the school with their hard-earned money and time. However, our major professional sports leagues are not designed the same way. The purpose of these sports is to produce the most entertaining show on television.
Hey, Shula, you better hope I never get back in there. I will kick your Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs and have some fun.
Something to distract us from life. Something to emotionally invest in. Kind of like Hollywood.
All I want to know if you got your popcorn ready.
It's like being in the movies.
Do you got your popcorn ready?
You get your popcorn, right before you go in. So I was just asking, like, hey, Stu, you got your popcorn ready? Because it's going to be a show today.
For 3 hours, I can immerse myself in another world. I can laugh with my friends or cry when my team loses. Ultimately, the off-season will roll around and I have the luxury of knowing that my favorite team will still be there, with no chance of being relegated. I have another season of blissful escapism. But for the rest of the world, sports are more than entertainment. Sports are a way of life. If the club underperforms, the club faces threat of relegation. For my American viewers, that means removal from the league. And for some clubs, they fall from the professional ranks and never recover again. The success or failure of the club has direct effect on the community. This is why fans fight so hard to remove bad management. And in many cases, the community owns a majority share in the club. The clubs truly are communities, not franchises. Now it's time for some closing thoughts. I love American sports. Always have, always will. That won't change. I love the entertainment. I love the highlight plays. I love the athleticism on display. I love the production. I love the show. And I love that it's a distraction from everything outside of the sport. However, over the last 2 years on this channel, I have grown an appreciation and a love for the world's most beautiful game and the way that it affects the culture of the world, the way that it has such an impact on the world, and also an appreciation for the way that the sport is structured and the way that sports are structured. The relegation system is beautiful. The ability of a team to start from the ground up and work its way all the way up to the professional ranks. That's beautiful. And might I add, very American. It's quite a meritocracy that you can start from the bottom, and if you perform well, you get rewarded and you can work all the way up. I love that. That's great. I love the production of our sports. Like I said, it's just like watching a very good TV show, but you're just putting athleticism and you're putting athletes out there. That's the way the American sports, the pro sports are. I must add, like I said earlier in the video, on the high school and college level, our sports are very similar to the way that the rest of the world operates and functions. We have communities that are surrounding those teams. It's surrounding the school. It's surrounding the place where people were educated. So people have ties that go back to their school 40 plus years. You'll have the alumni that return, people who have once studied and have graduated from a location. They return to be there, be a part. And we have rituals, homecoming, and those kinds of things that happen in that system that are very, very similar to the way that the rest of the world approaches sports. But our professional sports are a production. And there is participation. There are some clubs over here, like the Green Bay Packers or clubs like that, that are smaller, overall smaller markets where people have a more investment in the club. But ultimately, it's entertainment. It's distraction. It's escapism through sports. And I love it. But I've appreciated and grown to appreciate and honestly grown to love the beautiful game and the way that it's played. But if you've enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd like the video, if you'd comment down below, hey, and share it with a friend. I'd appreciate that. It'd help this channel out greatly. I'll see you guys in the next video.
December 18th, 2022 World Cup final. You talk about the power, the emotional power of sports, right? My family and I were sitting and watching the World Cup final, and we had the extent to which we were emotionally vested in Messi winning the World Cup can only demonstrate the beauty of sports, right? Because here's a guy that, right, we've never met him.
Right.
We're not Argentinian. Right. He doesn't know that we're alive.
Right.
And yet it's life and death for us that he should. I mean, it was so harrowing. I don't know if you watched the game, that at one point my son, who's 11 years old, said, I can't watch this anymore. I'm going to have a heart attack. That's the power of sports, that it can pull us in and it can make us truly tribal. And in my case, before you interject, it was kind of driven, my desire for him to win was driven by really a purity strand. It was that it seemed cosmically unjust for the greatest soccer player of all time to not have won the World Cup. So when he won it, to me, it seemed like the world is right. Beauty has won.